We're doing chili cheese dogs in this one. These are a quick, easy and absolutely delicious meal and can be served for any occasion or really any time of the day. I'm using cheese kranskis as well as the sausage meat, but you can use any type of sausage you want or just leave it out completely and just serve it with the chili that we're going to be making in this recipe. Other than that, let's get straight into it. Please sit back, relax and enjoy.
Now, I usually use brown onions in my recipes, but for this we're going to be using white because it can be eaten raw as well as cooked. We're going to slice it in half as per usual and dice it up, but we're going to do this two ways. One of them is going to be a large dice, just like I'm doing here, making sure to trim off any excess flesh from around the root. And with the other half, we're going to dice it nice and small, and this is going to be used raw to be a topping on the hot dog when it's all finished. Of course though, you can only use the half if you want to, you don't have to use the onion as a topping. Now for another ingredient for our chili, we're going to need 2 cloves of freshly peeled garlic. These can just be minced on a microplane or large grater, making sure to scrape it all out. The last ingredient is 2 dill pickles. You don't even have to use these if you don't want to. They're going to be used with the raw white onion as a topping, and these are just going to be thinly sliced, rotated 90 degrees and diced into small pieces. But like I said, you really don't have to use it. Now what we're about to make here is literally the tastiest chili I've done on the channel so far. We're going to place a pan over medium-high heat, add in 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, which isn't extra virgin, and then add in 300 grams of beef mince, half of the white onion, which is the large dice, and a pinch of salt. Now with the beef mince, it's still whole. We're going to sear it for 2 minutes like this. This is going to create a delicious sear and crust on the bottom of it, and then we're going to mix this all together to create a really nice flavour from that rendered fat. You also don't have to break this up or cook it till it's completely golden brown here because we're going to be adding more to this. Add in the minced garlic, breaking it up well, ensuring that it's completely broken down because it can clump up a little bit, and we're going to cook this for about 2 more minutes just until the beef mince is completely browned off all over. To increase the flavour even more, add in 7 grams of ground cumin, 1.5 grams of red chili powder, 2.5 grams of smoked paprika, 2.5 grams of yellow mustard powder, which is easy to get, sea salt flakes to taste, and of course cracked black pepper, 10 cracks worth. With all of that in, give this a mix and cook for 45 seconds just to enhance the flavour of all of those spices, and this is a beautiful blend of sweet, salty, smoky and peppery notes. Now all of the ingredients I'm adding here increase the depth and overall flavour of the final product, and that is 15 milliliters of apple cider vinegar, 6 grams of brown sugar, 2 grams of ground allspice, 30 grams of ketchup, just regular tomato ketchup, 15 grams of yellow mustard or American mustard, and 100 grams of tomato paste, which is a really important ingredient in this. All we have to do with this is mix it really well for those flavours to become friends, just until everything is evenly combined. Then we can add in 180 milliliters of beef stock, which will act to deglaze, pulling up any stuck flavours, also increasing the depth and allow for all of those seasonings and spices to come together and create the most beautiful, delicious sauce. Once well mixed, allow it to come to a boil, test it for seasoning, adjusting if necessary, put it over a low heat, place on a lid and let it cook for 15 minutes. Now in the meantime, we can pull out our sausage. I'm using 4 cheese kranskis, but you can use whatever sausage you want. These are already cooked as well, so all we have to do is heat them in a preheated oven. That is set at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, just until they're hot through the center. We can also pull out our buns, hot dog buns that is, then use a sharp knife and just slice these open, but really don't go all the way through because you'll have a really bad mess when you go to serve these up. We can then place the buns onto the same baking tray to save dishes, and these can go into the oven on the same temperature and just toast for a couple of minutes just until they're very lightly toasted because these will be toasted again later on. Going back to the chili, we can then remove the lid, and what we've just created here is the most beautiful chili. It's got the perfect texture and the smell and aroma that comes from this is absolutely incredible. Give it a quick check for seasoning, adjusting if necessary with sea salt flakes and cracked black pepper, then give this a quick mix through, and this is extremely hard not to eat all right now because it is so addictive. But once all of that's done, this can then be removed from the stovetop. To assemble these, it's completely about your personal preference. I'm adding some American cheddar onto the bottom of the buns, then placing the sausages over the top. I am also going to add some more cheese on top of these so it melts throughout. These are quite cheesy obviously, but you can just do it however you want. With that done, these can go back into the oven, which is at the same temperature, just for that cheese to melt, which will take about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're ready to go for the next bit. As for that, place the chili over the top, getting these well loaded. You don't even have to use it all, you can save some extra chili for another dish, or you can just snack on it in the meantime. I'm also going to place over some more American cheddar. This part is completely optional, and I'm going to place it back into the oven for a couple of minutes for that to melt, but you can just leave it with the chili on top. These can then be topped with the white onion we did at the beginning, obviously that's the finely diced stuff, as well as the dill pickles too. You obviously don't have to do this, like I said, and I'm also going to add on some flat leaf parsley. Obviously I didn't show this, but I just wanted to use up excess ingredients I had. Serve these up onto a board and you can serve them with a wide range of dipping sauces, but the only thing left to do is we can then dig in.
That is absolutely perfect. There is literally no other chili that I've made on this channel before that's as good as that. You really have to try this for yourself.